Hey everybody, welcome back to the Better Workdays podcast. I'm your host, Andy Morrison. This is an impromptu episode, okay? My daughter's at the YMCA Kids Night Out, and I find myself at work because I got just, like 40 minutes to kill, not quite worth going home yet. So I came to work and I thought, I've been thinking about this topic. I think some value I could add to our clients is to help them maximize their investment in training and development programs. Whether they do that with my company, Real Custom Training, or not, I think I have a lot of valuable insight and information for anybody out there. Maybe you're an HR professional who has been tasked with, hey, on top of the many other things on your plate, we really do need to add talent development. Maybe the bosses, the big bosses have turned to you and said, we got to get a leadership development program going, or we got to get some fundamental training for our frontline supervisors. I know if they put that on your plate, that's what Real Custom Training is here to help with. We will provide the expertise. We'll provide the programming. You can send your people to our programs in Putnam. You can bring our programs to your people by contracting with us to run workshops on site at your company. And when you do that, we customize it so that everything is tailored for your people and their specific needs and challenges. That's what we do at Real Custom Training. But maybe you meet all that criteria and you're not a client of Real Custom Training. I can still help you. I want to tell you 5 keys to maximize your investment in leadership workshops, okay? Leadership workshops, and really these fundamental things, these can apply to any time you are spending money to help your employees learn something that they need to learn in order to do their jobs better. These tips will help anytime that's the scenario you're dealing with. Be they frontline supervisors, brand new Gen Z workers coming into the workforce for the first time, all the way up to the CEO, everybody in between. This stuff will help anytime you're putting a learning program together for your folks. All right. Key number 5 to maximizing your investment: let the leaders lead and let the learners lead. I just thought, forget this slide. I'm going to go back and change this. Let the learners lead. That's much better. All right, you get to see how the sausage is made in these impromptu episodes. Yeah, let the learners lead. And by that I mean follow the golden question. The golden question, as I put it in my workshops, is this: who does this impact? And have we talked to them yet? That's the golden question. And I know it's a 2-part question, so maybe it should be golden questions. I'm not an English. Shit, I am an English major. Okay, I have no excuse. I don't know which one it should be. The point is, anytime you're making a policy, you're putting together a program, a training program, just all the time, I think people at work need to get in the habit of asking themselves, who does this impact and have we talked to them? Because I can tell you from my personal experience, and I can tell you from the people I work with in my workshops, the learners from many different companies and industries that I interact with, nobody likes it, and it tends to not work out that well when policies and changes and programs are enacted that impact you, your department, your team, your ability to do your job, and nobody asks for your input before making that change or implementing that policy or program. That's a universal problem. And there's a reason it's a problem. We're not going to get into those reasons. Some of them are valid, but like all problems, you just got to be vigilant in addressing it and making sure that that problem doesn't do things like lead you to put together a leadership program that you and maybe a few other people think sounds great, but it's not quite what your people need, and you weren't able to design what they need because you just simply didn't go and talk to them and say, hey, we're thinking of this, but you tell us, what do you need? Okay, so let the learners lead. Whatever employees you have in mind for your training, your learning, your development program, whoever you have in mind, go to them, tell them what you're thinking, tell them why, and then ask them for their input. And tell them you need their input because you want to put together a program that is going to matter to them and help them out. Key number 4, no cookie cutter trainers, okay? If you hire Real Custom Training, we don't do cookie cutter stuff. We take our curriculum and we Frankenstein it. Whatever monster you need us to build, By taking various parts of our many workshops and programs, we will put them together so that it's the most relevant program to your people, and we will customize it so that the scenarios we deal with, the exercises we do, are the most relevant to them. If you hire a trainer, you want to make sure you vet their willingness to customize their curriculum, okay? What you need is very different than what other companies need. Now, we all need leadership development. We all need time management, okay? Right, let's go with that. No one's going to argue. Sure, everybody needs some time management skills. We could all learn a little more about time management. Fair enough. Time management for a police officer is very different than time management for an insurance agency customer service representative. They both need it. What it looks like is going to be very different. You simply need to have at least some level of customization of any program that you bring a third party in to deliver for you. Do not let them just come in and roll out their program the way they like to roll it out. You will not get the most out of your investment. No cookie cutter trainers. That's key number 4. Key number 3, chunk it up. Chunk it up. I get it. Training is disruptive. I understand why so many organizations want to do it all in one day or in three full days. And sometimes there's value in full day programs. But if you're looking at developing fundamental skills in people, you need to chunk it up. And by chunk it up, I mean break it up into incremental sessions. Instead of a 1-day, 6-hour program, break it up into 2 3-hour programs with a week in between. The benefits of that include that adult learners retain information better when it is broken up incrementally, when it's chunked up. You're hiring Real Custom Training or whoever you're hiring to put on a learning program for you. So schedule it accordingly. Take advantage of the science that's out there. Give your people the best chance of learning what you want them to learn. The other benefit of it, by breaking it up, you give them a chance to take ideas and tools from the workshop and bring it back to work and try it out in between sessions. Then they can come back to the subsequent session and say, hey, I tried out the Grow Coaching Framework. It went really well. Or maybe they say, hey, I tried it out and it was a disaster. I need the group's help. I need feedback. Let me tell you what happened. Help me get better at it, right? You're putting these workshops on ultimately to give people stuff to use at work to do their job differently. Let them practice that during the program itself. The programs are a safe space to practice this stuff out without the high risk of actually doing it back in the workplace. You can only give them that practice if you chunk it up. Chunk up your training. If you do 6 hours at a time, it's very good trainers can do it, but I think most good trainers would tell you it'll be better to break it up. At the end of 6 hours, people are wiped. Your instructor's wiped. The learners are wiped. Hard to retain information in that state. Chunk it up, everybody. Number 2, what time is it? 7:10. We got plenty of time till kids' night out is over, but I do have to hurry. Key number 2 to maximizing your investment in learning programs for your people. Tee it up and talk it up. By tee it up, I mean this. Somebody important. I know everyone's important in your organization. Someone high up on the food chart, to be blunt about it, okay? A leader who's actually invested in this program, okay? A leader who can speak to the group to kick off the program to say a few things. 1, hey, this is an investment in you. This program is how good companies help good employees and good leaders become great leaders. And that's how good companies become great companies, by developing their people. You wouldn't be in this room if we didn't believe that by investing in you, you are going to kick ass and have new skills that are going to make your life better, your job easier, and make you more effective and help make our company better. This is a win-win. You being here is a sign that we value you and we're investing in you. You don't have to put it exactly like that, but that's the sentiment, right? These programs are a vehicle for companies to invest in their employees. It's not punitive. Sometimes there's that misconception out there. Oh, I'm getting sent to a program. I'm not good enough. No. When you get sent to a leadership development program, that's your company saying, we think you could be one of the best here, and we want to make that happen by investing in you. It is a good thing to get sent to a leadership program. So tee it up by having somebody from your leadership team address the group at the beginning. That leader should also acknowledge the skills and learning that they are doing in their career. And if you have a leader at the head of your organization who would struggle to identify what skills they're working on, we should talk, because that's a problem. But that's a topic for another podcast. All right, the leader should say, hey, I appreciate that you're all here for these time management skills. Let me tell you, I use the Eisenhower matrix every day, and I know that's a tool you're going to learn in this workshop. I use it every single day. I used to struggle. It's been great for me. I want to hear from you after the workshop. Has it worked for you? And that touches on the second part of key number 2. Talk it up. Talk to the learners before the program, during the program, in between sessions. The best thing you can do when you've got people going from your site to an offsite for recurring sessions of leadership development or management development or communication, whatever they're off learning about, the best thing you can do to maximize your investment in that learning is get that person's supervisor on board to encourage them and just simply talk to them about the program. Casual conversations about it. Hey, how'd it go this week? What are you guys learning about? Oh, the Grow coaching model. Okay. I don't know that one. Tell me about it. Oh, have you gotten a chance to use it? Oh, good. Let me know how. Just, right, again, it sounds so obvious, but it's like it needs to be said because it doesn't always get done this way. If you're sending people to these programs, you're investing their time, you're spending the company money on it. The time they're in the program, if it's during their shift, is time that someone's helping cover for them back at work. That's disruptive, right? If you're putting all this into it, why wouldn't you do everything you can do to get the most out of that investment? And one of those things is getting the participants, managers, involved and talking to them about the program during and after the program. All right, and finally, the last key I have for you now, I got a ton of these keys on this topic, but I'm just hitting you with 5 for now. The number one key to maximizing your investment in leadership development or any type of learning program for your employees is to get your people's feedback. When the program ends, any consultant or facilitator that you hire to come in and put on a program, in addition to making sure they're going to customize their stuff for you, you also want to make sure they have a thorough evaluation process. Let me tell you the real custom training process. We issue a formal evaluation at the end of our workshops, all right? And we solicit feedback throughout the program. We are constantly tweaking our programs based on feedback from the participants. But at the end, we do the formal evaluation. We collect qualitative data, open-ended questions. Any feedback on the instructor? How's this program going to help you at work? Would you take more programs with us and why? Quantitative data, rating the instructor on a Likert scale, rating the workshop quality of the content. My point is it's a pretty thorough evaluation. Now, I'll take those evaluations and I'll share them with any company that has sponsored people into that program because I stand by those evaluations. I wish I could shout those evaluations from the mountaintops. I should probably be doing a lot more with them from a marketing perspective, okay, to be perfectly honest, because they are awesome. Me, Rocky Blunt, Bob Tatro, John Miller, Heather Butterworth, anybody who's ever taught on behalf of Real Custom Training has always gotten consistently excellent reviews, and we will share those with a client. Any vendor, any consultant or facilitator who doesn't have a similar process and isn't willing to give you your people's verbatim feedback on the program might be someone you want to think twice about hiring. You want someone who is eager to give you the evaluation information because they have faith that they are going to do such a good job that you're going to want to see it and they're going to want you to see it. And get your people's feedback not only formally through that survey, but believe me, just make it part of the conversations you're having with them. Talk to them about the program and get their feedback outside of the formal evaluation. Because for whatever reason, maybe they really liked their instructor. There can be any number of reasons somebody may have feedback they didn't feel comfortable putting in that formal evaluation. That is totally valid, and I don't want to ever take that for granted. So I encourage you, if you're working with Real Custom Training or any learning provider, talk to your people afterwards and ask them the same kind of questions that we put on our evaluation, because they may give you different answers than they were willing to give us. It is always worth it. And even if you don't get new information, you are still sending the signal to them that this program is important and worth discussing, and that you value their feedback, because you're going to use their feedback to help shape future programs in collaboration with them. That's what it's all about, making the learners a part of the process from beginning to end. That is the best way to maximize your investment in learning programs for your people. All right, I'm out. I got to go to the Y. That's Better Workdays. Thanks, everybody.